Atmanirbhar Bharat, India that is self-dependent. And now it's the high time as we are beginning our new journey of self-dependency. Today we are going to have a look on past, present and future that withstands with our strained relationship with China. As India banned 59 Chinese applications, that was a huge chunk in the Indian market. Though Chinese Foreign Ministry has asked India to reconsider their decision as they are aware of the consequences and laws that would cater post-ban. But only this would be enough? What exactly is boycott China and how can we achieve that? That would be future, but to analyze the present and future conditions, let's go back a step and enter in the past. What made us over-dependent on China and their products? Let's dig deep into this. Now, as per United Nations report, there are 356 million of youth population ranging in the age group of 10 to 24. With this, India stands on the top with the world's largest youth population as compared to China with 269 million young people. As per the data analysis of TikTok, 39% of globally TikTok users are from India, mostly between the ages of 16 to 24, which is indeed a huge count. Considering this huge count, it's time we need to think what led to popularity of Chinese applications in Indian market. The Indian market is very difficult to capture. The requirements of the applications will include ease of access, compatibility with the local languages, stickers availability in local languages, mobile data saving, incentives such as points that can be converted to money, and stage presence applications, etc. It works to capture the people's attention. Over the past few years, India has become the world's fastest growing mobile application market with 1.3 billion potential customers. No surprise why Chinese applications like UC Browser, TikTok, ShareIt and Hello are so famous and mostly downloaded since they are free of cost. But on the other hand, the users are unaware of the data privacy that is being stolen by the application and their personal data is at risk with prolonged use of such applications.
The data breach has happened with the users of other countries as well. Just like India has banned 59 Chinese applications and now aiming to boycott Chinese products, China did the same with the other countries as well. Let's have a look at past. According to the Hindu newspaper, China has punished countries that undermine its territorial claims and the foreign policy goals, with measures such as restricting trade, encouraging popular boycotts, and cutting off tourism. In 2010, China began restricting exports of rare earth element to Japan, key ingredient for many electronic industries. 2 years later, China boycotted Japanese brands, car and stores and curtailed even the import of bananas from Japan. According to the New York Times, China mines 93% of world's rare earth minerals and more than 99% of world's supply of some of the most prized rare earth. Radium oxide is a rare earth mineral used in delicate electronics. Japan has been the main buyer of Chinese rare earth for many years, using them for a wide range of industrial purposes like making glass for solar panels. They are also used in a small string control motors in conventional gasoline powered cars as well as in a motor that help propel hybrid cars like Toyota Prius. In 2016 and 2017, China curbed outbound tourism to South Korea, costing the country a loss of $1 million. It also used regularly measure to close almost 19 Korean-owned Lotte Mart stores in the mainland China, and later it restricted most of the imports from South Korea.
If we talk about the present situation, let's have a look on some statistics and data. According to Economic Times, China is India's largest trading partner, with the bilateral trade at $71.5 billion, out of which India imports $61.3 billion, while it exports just $10.2 billion worth of good, which is highly skewed in favor of China. Chinese companies have already captured India's telecom sector. They control more than $8 billion of smartphone market with brands such as Xiaomi, Oppo, Vivo, and even the flagships like OnePlus. India imports telecom gear worth over 70,000 crores annually, much of it from Chinese firms like Huawei and ZTC. The top imports from China includes electrical items, machinery and parts, organic chemicals, plastics, and ship and boats. Let's have a look at the statistics of these 5 categories. We import around $21.9 billion of electrical and electronics items, $11.1 billion of machinery and parts, $5.6 billion of organic chemicals, $1.8 billion worth of plastic, and $1.5 billion worth of ship and boats. In the various sectors, Chinese companies have their firm hold, either supplying raw materials, investing in shares, or even providing vital components. If we see in consumer electronics, Gionee, Huawei and Xiaomi. In solar modules, Trina Solar, Jinko Solar and Longi. In auto components, Wenfeng Auto, Kingfa and Lesso. In construction equipments, Sany and Liu Gong. In telecom equipments, Huawei and ZTC. And even Alibaba has invested in Paytm and Tencent in Flipkart. Apart from this, Chinese companies have also invested in startups like Ola, Uber, Swiggy and many other Indian startups. If you look at the tourism sector, in 2016, 8 lakh Indians went to China for tourism and around 2.5 lakh Chinese visited India for the tourism. Even when Make in India was making rounds, Statue of Unity of Sri Vallabhbhai Patel, it was also furnished by China. Yes, the bronze cladding work was contracted out by L&T to Chinese foundry Jiangxi Tonging Metal Handicrafts. They casted around 6,500 bronze panels that weigh a total of 1,875 tons, which was accounted to be 10% of the total materials used. Moreover, if we study the number of projects in which China was involved, it accounted for 19 projects in 2014, around 6 years back, with $247.6 million. But if you see the statistics of 2019, it increased to 48 projects worth around $1,907.5 million. These projects include some Chinese tech giants investing in projects. Huawei and ZTC holds 13 projects. Sany and Nova Air accounts 6 projects. ZTE and Vivo each have 5 ongoing projects. With the boom of 5G in telecom sector, Indian government have allowed Chinese company Huawei to conduct 5G trials in India.
This month, India signed a major defense agreement with Australia that allows both countries to use each other's military bases, and Australia is invited to join naval exercises it conducts with Japan and the United States to strengthen efforts by the so-called Quad, Australia, Japan, US and India, to counter China's projection of sea power. Apart from that, 8 countries have formed an alliance to counter China. They are Germany, Japan, Russia, Britain, France, US, Italy and Australia. This pandemic also gave us a chance to tap our country's pharmaceutical industry to strengthen diplomatic ties with other countries by offering help with medicines. The United Nations has also labeled China a systematic rival and economic competitor, reflecting hardening attitude towards Beijing across Europe. Post-COVID, it has been secretly in the mind of European nations what to do with China. But for India, it cannot enjoy the company of both worlds. It has to be either United States or China. Constructively, many countries are united against China for its exploitation in foreign policies, trades, as well as territorial claims. This can be a mark of new beginning as India is sending a closure to China. अंत ही आरंभ है.